Hello everyone, welcome to the 7th video of middle game series. Something super interesting to comment regarding middle game stuff. We will take a look on the game which happened in the 4th round of European Youth Co-Championship U12 category. It was the final game for the first place, and we will not check it only because it's nice to see how the young hopes of Europe are improving, but also how careful should we be to judge the status of groups and how it is changing during the flow of the game. So all of that we will see in this game, where middle game actually starts very fast. First of all, I would like to briefly introduce the players. The black tones were played by Bende Barcza from Hungary, who had a rank of 5Q before the tournament, but during the training camp we realized that he must be way stronger than that, so he was promoted to 3Q. And his opponent was Turkish young star Alper Sulak, who is already a 1-dan. Well, when I was thinking when I became a 1-dan, it was at the age of 12, which I still believe is pretty good, but you will be very surprised when I tell you how old these kids are. So both of these players are 8 years old. So I have to say that for 8-year-old players, they play absolutely amazing. And I'm not sure if I ever seen anything like that before on the European. Anyways, let's check out this game. I hope you will enjoy it, and please pay attention, especially on the middle game stage, which started very soon in this game. So the game started with cross fuseki, and white pincered already very early. So this is actually an AI joseki, but this is not why we are here today. So the middle game starts already now when black decided to tenuki in the top left corner, because normally we should settle and add another stone at C11. But in this case, for some reason, black probably didn't want white to approach here, or just white to take center for any kind of reason, because I feel like no matter which approach white will choose, both of them are super urgent. So maybe that was the reason why black decided to tenuki here, but still I believe adding a move in the top left corner is pretty big. Or maybe black just was not afraid of this group, but it was kind of expected that white will go to pincer immediately. So that's where the middle game starts already, because middle game normally starts when the groups are, let's say, starting to approach the center, and when there are already some unclear fight going on. In this case, white already pincered and black jumped. Actually, first move which would come to my mind is to make a shape like this, because normally tiger's mouth connection is a way how we are making a base or how we are making an eye shape, and I think black's shape would be pretty good. Of course, white can still attack. If white later plays here, for example, black is far from being alive, but black's shape is still quite good. Like black can jump to the center and so on. So black should be still pretty fine. But in this game, black decided to jump, which looks like the fastest way how to go out, but white actually has a chance to hit the vital point of black, and white can also get this Kosumi in center. Now black is not alive anymore, and actually black doesn't even have a sure eye in the top left corners. So that's why I think that black should have thought about d50. And now white starts to attack. Maybe it's not ideal to play here. White wants to pressure black. If black starts jumping to the center like this, is it really interesting for white to build something on the left side? Because now white would have to play here or play an approach from the wrong side on Komoku, because normally we like to approach from the other side. So that's why I'm not really 100% sure about the direction of play of this attack. So maybe for white, jumping from this side is not the perfect solution here. So personally, if I would be white here, I would probably just extend to the side and make sure I'm alive. And maybe if black will tenuki, I would consider to attack from the other side, like somewhere from this direction, because the top side is definitely more interesting for both sides than the left one. Of course, white wants to play here later, for example. So that's another reason why white might actually combine this move together with the attacking from G40 direction. This should be a better option. Not only because white is not getting much by this attacking, because left side is not important, but if white will actually leave these stones there without playing there, and let's say white will play some other big move, like white will just play something like this, if black gets to play in this area, all of a sudden these stones are actually not the attacking stones, they are the stones who are under attack. White doesn't have a base, that way white doesn't have an eye shape, That's always something we have to think about. Not only if we are getting something, but if we actually come under attack ourselves. So black decided to play here, which is just kind of showing white where to play. I guess everyone will play here at age 16. So black pushed, white played here, black pushed once again, and then white played here. I think white should be just happy to keep extending because black is pushing from behind on the 5th line, black is far from being alive. Also, moves like this one can be very annoying for later, and white is also keeping being super solid at the top side. So I would just keep extending until black stops pushing, but this will be always good exchanges for white. Anyway, so white decided to play here, which is a move which white was heading at, but actually now black has a possibility to connect the line somehow. And of course, if black connects the line somewhere in these areas, imagine black will play here, for example. Black will not build almost any points, but now, if these stones get connected, these 3 stones are becoming very lonely all of a sudden. And I guess white will also want to reduce black's potential somehow, but any kind of move from this direction may come, and 3 stones on the left are under attack. Just another moment how we can see that attacking stones might become defending stones. We have already seen it 10 moves ago, but now it actually might come again. We still can see that white is kind of owing a move on the left side. So that's why I think black should just consider to close the line, which black didn't do. Probably black felt safe about his group, which might be actually true that that group cannot be killed or severely attacked. But it's very important to connect our stones, and then all of a sudden the opponent's stones are becoming weaker. K3 is a super big move, no question about that, but the fight at top left quadrant of the board is ongoing at the moment, so that's why K3 is a bit off topic. So white decided to attack like this, and then black answered and white jumped this way. We should always be very careful about 2 space jumps in the open space of the center, because now we can see there is a lot of agi going on there, and if white really wanted to play at J13, then I think it would be better to play here. And now if black will connect somehow, white can just extend, and now white is standing on a vital point. So this would be just much better way for white how to attack. Or there is another possibility, white might actually jump out here, because before we wanted black to connect the line there, but now black stones are again very far from the others. So black will probably have to start playing here, and white will naturally get to play somewhere on the left side. Because now left side is starting to become very interesting place where to play, because for white it's now much harder to play here, because black has already a stone at K3. So I think white would probably consider something like this to get some territory on the left side. Also, the jump at M15 might be very useful to annoy black's Shimari by this move, which is a very strong continuation, but I think it becomes especially strong with the jump at M15. So that's another choice why M15 stones should be very useful. So white played here and then jumped, and now actually black tried to connect the line, which is probably something what should have happened. But white probably was not happy about it, so white decided to pretend and slightly bluff that actually this cut is not working for black. Probably white was setting up a trick to cut here. However, if black just plays here and white connects and then plays here, it's a very big problem for white. Or if white tries to cut directly, black can just play Atari and then again play here. Because now if white tries to save these stones, I think black will just squeeze white like this and then kill the corner. Even if black just loses the 4 stones on the outside, then the corner is just way bigger. Because before it used to be white's territory, and now black will get there like 30 points. So of course this exchange is good for black. So this is actually a very strong Tesuji to play here for black, so that's why I think this move at M16 was kind of a bluff and it didn't work. But black accepted it's working, white managed to come back here, and now even if black connects the line like this, white can still cut from this side. So actually this is quite a big trouble for black. So that's why I think black backed up here and white definitely got an advantage by M16. But I would like to repeat, this move didn't work. I think white tricked black here. So black decided to peep and then jumped here. That's actually another bit inconsistent combination. For black, it would be natural to continue in this area because this jump is super big. Also, next move at n5 will actually close this stone in a very large scale. However, if black plays d11 peep, which is making white stronger, but also making white heavy at the same time, it would be natural for black to continue. And now we could see that these stones are definitely not alive at this moment. And also, in the process, when these stones are become weaker, these stones are becoming naturally stronger. And if white tries to cut here, for example, black can just give up to 2 stones, and white will also damage his own group once again. So this cut is not working. And of course, it becomes much harder for white to attack black's stones if white's group is not strong enough. That's why I think if black didn't want to add another move to defend his group, let's say around here or something like that, then black should definitely try to attack white. Black jumped here. White decided to attack a bit more, black jumped, white peeped, so then black played here, and even though black actually played very nice combination how to connect, still it's very painful to connect this way. Also, I'm wondering why black didn't connect like this, which is obviously better, but anyway, that's just a detail. But now actually white set up a very straightforward cut, and I don't think this cutting point is something black should be worried about. So if black plays here, white cuts, black plays here, white here plays here, and black plays something like this, then I think white stones are not clearly connected with this one, and also black will get very good shape on the outside. So I don't think this is a cutting point which black should be afraid of. Also, if white wanted to use this cutting point, white should probably be a bit less direct. Like white can get some big move in this area to tell black, hey, you have a cut here, you have to protect. Which is actually true. White is not lying here. Like black should definitely protect. In a good shape probably, and white will probably also get the peep. But now white will get center just to play somewhere in this area, and I think white is definitely leading in this game because white has already a lot of territory, a lot of influence in the center, and black doesn't have any clear territory anywhere on the board. So white would be doing pretty well. But if this happens and black blocks, now the game becomes very unpredictable and unnecessarily complicated for white. However, black again backed up, which is kind of the same like what happened here. Black just somehow believed the move is working, but I feel like n15 is another trick which was not working very well. But in the game, black actually sacrificed the corner and gave white a lot of points. So white gained once again, and now white is clearly ahead at this moment. Finally, black adds another move here. So black probably studied a lot of AI, and he knew that the bottom right situation is Joseki, and he also probably knew that he should attack white stones at n3 like this, which is a good way how to capture it, but it took black 3 moves and white got instead very interesting moves somewhere else. So I'm not sure if this was worth it, but at least finally black has some decent amount of territory. So white played from this direction. There is no need why white should hurry in the bottom left corner and invade. So black answered. And now it's actually a moment when white should definitely start to think and calm down and check out what is going on the board and how is the score. So the reality is that white is leading. That's already what we concluded. I was watching this game live and I could see that white was playing super fast. I don't think that white underestimated black. White actually played super fast in all of his games. And at this moment, if I remember correctly, white spent only like 5 minutes of his basic time until now. So obviously white probably still used to play very fast, and that's why he probably didn't count down here and didn't check out what the score is. On the other hand, even though black is losing so far, it was clear that he is way more patient player. Despite his young age, he was already able to think pretty long, and at this moment, if I remember correctly, nearly half of his basic time was already gone. And the basic time was 1 hour. Black, at this moment, got some decent amount of territory at the bottom, but I think if white just plays something like this, white is still clearly ahead on territory, because white has a lot of points at the top. Now white got some points on the left, plus some influence, and white also has some points on the right, so I think white should be still pretty fine. But here is actually a moment when the game is getting a bit out of white's hands. So white played peep, which is first of all a terrible exchange, because white basically destroys all of the RG possible in the corner. And then white plays here. So I know this shape actually is very widely used, especially between Q players in Europe, but it's good to remember this shape is rarely good, because there is just too many vital points and weak points which black can use for himself. Like, for example, if black plays here, how is white gonna answer? because probably white will have to connect this way, which is very painful, and if white plays here, black can just go down in center and then play keima here. So before, this was an invasion stone, but who is attacking whom here? I'm not really sure if white is attacking black. I almost feel like black is attacking white. So white shape is pretty bad. So first of all, the shape is an issue here. And also white probably wanted to be faster with f6. But if white wanted to be faster, why didn't just play here? Still, I think this move is too much. White should clearly play keima, but still this is much better shape than the kosumi and the keima. This was just not a good choice. So first of all, black strikes here and then here. So black actually cripples white's shape a bit. Then black attaches here, which I still believe it would be better to hit the vital point here, but this move makes sense because black is trying to make a base, and normally attaching when getting a base is actually a good tactic. And then white played here, black goes up, white connects, black plays here, and black goes out. So what is going on here? Already this white's reply was a mistake, because white still refuses to accept that actually black's invasion is serious and he's really attacking white's stones. But if white plays like this, still he gets kind of a good shape, and it might be a reasonable fight for white, because black is also not alive and white is at least running somehow to the center. White still has a possibility later to go here, so white might get some compensation. However, if white plays like this and black occupies this vital point and then also this one and then black keima here, still even though white can run somewhere on the bottom side, I'm not really sure who is attacking whom. Also, we should note that this move is super urgent for black's base and also white's living eye shape. So black played here and white played here. So white should definitely play this move because this is absolute center and black probably has to defend like this, and also white will be almost alive how white plays here. But here we can clearly see that white still didn't realize he's under attack. Black played here and then decided to turn. Actually, I wouldn't make this exchange if I don't want to cut here directly. So I think black should just directly play here. But immediately afterwards, we will see that the cut will come anyway, because white decided to hane here, which is already a clear overplay. So in this case, white should probably jump, but I think even better would be to attach here, because this move has some kind of continuation. Black, first of all, probably cannot cut because the damage at the bottom would be just too big. If black goes here, white will just connect, and that's exactly what white wanted. And if black plays here, white will be very happy to create a bamboo join. And if black just chenukis and plays somewhere else, white will again get a very good shape here. That's why I think the attachment at k6 was the best shape. But white played hane and then black cuts. White attached here, but now it's too late because black can get this, I wouldn't say in center, but white's shape is definitely not ideal. When finally white played this move, black is actually able to push few times, which makes black's group in the center much stronger. Also, black is able to get this, since white is in the mood of killing black in the center, or at least severely attacking him. I think white would definitely connect in this kind of game. So black could probably also get this in center. So black played this move, and here's another example how white is misjudging the situation. I'm sure he realized he got cut at h5 and he has no way out with his group on the left. But still white really feels like he's able to kill the group in the center and probably also win the semeai within a competition with his group on the left. But first of all, white should realize he's in very big danger. First of all, white should probably make some exchanges here. And now white is probably still not alive, but probably white will either manage to make some eye at the bottom, or he will try to use the shape here, because I have a feeling it will be very hard to solve this kind of move. Or at least another chance how to get something, how to connect under might be disco, which might be actually very risky for both sides. So white decided to attack. Black connected, white blocked, so white is clearly still going to kill black, but finally black plays this move, which is very urgent for the shape of both, and then actually black connected here, which I'm not sure if black has seen anything there, but I think if black just blocks here, even if white runs to the side, white is clearly dead here. Because white doesn't have an eye, and there is no way how white could win the semi with the black's group on the outside, because black has just too many liberties there. After this push also black will just play here. I'm not really sure if black has seen anything there, but I think there is no reason to be afraid. So this actually gives white another chance how he could try to connect under here, and white has core threats like here in the corner, so the core might not be completely hopeless for white. But instead white decided to push and try to set up a trick with number of liberties here together with this cut, and I will show you what white is aiming for. He's actually aiming for something like this. So this actually could indeed be very dangerous for black if we take a look on liberties. But black actually saw this trick, so he decided to push, and that already kind of solves it, because now after black played here, now this is already not working, because black got 2 liberties extra at G11 and white already cannot connect his stones effectively at E10 or F10 anymore. So G11 was a very clever exchange, and also it proves this move at G10 before was just too much. Well, black actually was taking out liberties here, which is all usually a good attitude, but I think here black could play safer. I think black just doesn't have to be afraid of losing any kind of semeai here, because now white's group is just dead, even if black doesn't take all of the liberties. So black plays here, white pushes, black connects, and so white is now trying to set up the semeai. So first of all, black connects these stones, which I think it would be already better to at least for white to play something like this and take the liberty, because I don't think black is able to run, and white can always stop him here. But after white plays here, black just connects these stones, white plays here, and now black takes these 3. So that's actually another strange sequence by white, because I don't understand why white didn't play like this, because like this black will have a small eye, but like this black will have much bigger eye, and of course if black wins the semi-eye, black will also accumulate much more points here. So that's why I think white make another misreading here. So white is still trying to win the semi-eye, but not only white cannot win the semi-eye, but there is another problem here. What if black plays here, 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 and here? Another bunch of stones is dying for white, so probably black can even live locally here. Black actually played here, white connected, black played here, white got this Atari in center, and at this moment white realized he cannot win the semi-eye anymore. So we can see what happened. Like white had a huge potential and influence on the left side, but all of a sudden now it became that white actually lost everything there, and black got a huge amount of points in the bottom left quarter of the board. All of this happened because white didn't take black's invasion seriously, and white just wanted to kill black and realized too late that he's actually himself under attack. I think black has almost never been under attack here. The shape of here was too bad. So we can continue a bit more. Like white decided some last hope to go here, and then tried some very risky core here and very risky attempt to kill the black's dragon at the top side of the board. Well, I would say that even though black got a very big lead in the bottom left, I don't think the game is completely over. This is a kids game, and even though they play already at very high level, anything can happen, and the board is still relatively empty. So I think white should remain a bit more patient and block from here first, or maybe exchange the P, but then block from here for sure. So I think the game would not be hopeless yet for white. White is definitely behind, but the game is definitely not hopeless. But white played like this, and black actually found a very nice move here, and the only choice remaining for white was to play this core, and finally white also played a invalid core threat here, because black has too big eye in this semeai, and since after this move black can throw in here, there is no way how this could be working. In a semeai, we should remember that always who has a bigger eye than the opponent has always the advantage, and basically takes all of the shared liberties. They don't have shared liberties here, but still black is in a clear advantage in this semeai. So after white failed with his core threat here, I don't think there is any chance how white can reverse the game. And even though white was so much ahead on time on the clock in this game is just over, because white lost another big number of points in the top right, and there was a bit of drama on the right side later, but still black managed to get a clear win in this game. I am really looking forward to how these players will grow up, but especially white still should definitely work on his patience and also to realize about the judgment of the groups in the middle game. white managed to trick black twice at the top side, and actually white's attack there was very successful, so he had a very good beginning, but later white was too careless on the left side, and white just didn't have to hurry with a bad shape here. Like, first of all, white made a bad exchange there, but then even black stroke back at the vital point at c7 and c6. And I think black's group has never been weak there. White's group was the one which was always big there, and white just realized it too late when it came up to the semeai. Before that, white could just probably fix the territory there somehow, get some number of points, and just try to win normally. No need to kill anything. White was just gambling too much in the middle game. So that's why I think this game was very good to show a lot of aspects in the middle game we were also reviewing in the previous videos, I think. So that's strong and weak groups, good and bad shapes, about vital points. And finally, we should always tell the truth in goal. We should not lie. And white lied 2 times at the top side, but black believed the lie, so he backed up. Black simply couldn't believe what was happening on the left side. White lied there too many times, or white just didn't realize that he is under attack. But that I would be very surprised about, because especially after the cut at h5, white must have realized he's not alive. He also must have realized that he cannot win such a semeai. I'm sure one done player is already able to read this. Anyway, this was a very interesting game. In the end, actually, Bende finished first in the competition and Alper finished second, so they didn't lose any of the games besides playing each other here. So as I said, both of these boys are only 8 years old, so I'm really looking forward how soon they will become European superstars. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.